Hi. This is my first video that I've made, that I'm gonna make, that I'm gonna upload. In fact, this is the third try. I filmed myself twice already, and I was just like, the first one was just a couple of minutes, and then the second one was 15 minutes. And after I watched the second one, I was like, God, I'm gibbering on too much. I don't have a focus. The discussion isn't focused on anything. I'm just going off on things that, I mean, that's actually how I'm good at this. Basically, every video that I do is just going to be my opinion on things. Sorry about that. Not necessarily, not necessarily technology or anything in particular, although you will see that a lot. You will see me talking technology. You will see me talking video games, but I'm going to talk about other things too. I'm very much into politics. I'm very much into music. I'm into too many things just to focus on video games. Does that mean I dislike video games? Not at all. I mean, it's my favorite form of entertainment. The last time around, I talked about a few things. I never posted them. I deleted them. They were horrible videos. But I talked about, well, let's just put it like this. I mentioned video games and how I don't feel that video games are really video games anymore. 9 times out of 10, they're realistic, interactive cinema. Not really talking smack about that. It's fine for some people who like that, but I like video games. I like actual video games. I like a score. You know, you racked up this many points and things like that. Yeah, and I can't help but think that people love achievements, right? They love achievements and trophies and whatnot. I look at that as the modern day scoreboard. You used to walk into the arcades and you'd see a lineup of initials, a list, and it would say this person is up at the top. They made the biggest score. I look at achievements being similar, only online. So whoever has the most achievements through different games up at the top. You know, and then in a row, who's done this much. And I just kind of look at it like that. It's just a modern day take on that. But I love video games, and I'm looking forward to Shovel Knight. I'm very, very, very much looking forward to Shovel Knight. It's just one of those things that grab my attention. It didn't have to be 8-bit. That's the thing that kind of gets me. There's a lot of people who, they're very nostalgic. They want to make these games like old games, but they always just completely ignore 16-bit. They go for 8-bit. I don't understand why they go for 8-bit, but they do. I mean, I don't hate 8-bit. I started in 8-bit, but 16-bit is where I started really paying attention. And that to me was the golden era of video games. That was the shiznit when it comes to video games. When it comes to video games, that was the best time. The 16-bit era, even a little after that, was still good. Back when a lot of games came from Japan. Primarily, games came from Japan. We still get some games made in Japan, but not as much, not as often. It's mostly Western developed games. It's a lot of shooters, and I don't hate shooters. I like shooters. It just depends on the type of shooter. I don't like war shooters. I really do not like Call of Duty. And it's not one of those things like with food where like, how do you know if you've never tasted it? You know, how do you know if you've never played it? Well, I have played it though. That's the thing. I own one Call of Duty game, and I played through it on single player, the single player campaign, and I was just like, I couldn't understand why people enjoy that so much. I couldn't fathom. So I'm not talking down about it. But if I play a shooter, it's got to be something like Doom. Doom. What is that other game? It's Doom and Half-Life and oh God, I can't remember the name of that other series. They just made the BioShock. I like the BioShock series too. Usually any shooter with some imagination I like. Anything that doesn't involve realism or the world in which we live in, to where you're killing human beings, and the setting is just so unimaginative. I can't stand those games. Although the latest Call of Duty being worked on has piqued my interest. There's a lot of sci-fi stuff going on. They're not so much based in real life. They're really pushing it. And so I might can play that. I might can get into that. Maybe. But I couldn't get into past Call of Duties. I have Black Ops 2 for Wii U. It's a gorgeous game. It looks great, especially on the Wii U. I was surprised at how good it looked. But I couldn't get into the gameplay. There's a few sci-fi type stuff that they stuck in there, and it was okay, but for the most part it was, especially when you flash back to the past and you're going through all these things that were in old wars that already happened and stuff, and there's nothing sci-fi going on, and I couldn't get into that. When it comes to video games, primarily I like role-playing games, RPGs, platformers, puzzle games. I mean, I like every genre, to be honest. I'm an actual gamer. An actual gamer. My opinion is, you're not a real gamer if you can't play at least one, maybe two games in every genre. If the only thing you can play, and the only thing you're willing to play, is sports games and war shooters, you're not a real gamer. You need to learn to play a variety of video games. See, because in my mind, a gamer is like calling somebody who likes to read books a bookworm. That's the word we have for some people who just love reading books. You know? And I don't know any bookworm that doesn't read all kinds of genres when it comes to books. So likewise, as a gamer, I would expect that if you're an actual gamer, you're not going to stick to one or two genres. You're going to branch out. You're going to play these different genres. That's what a gamer is. And I know a lot of people hate that term. I'm a big fan of Richard Review Tech USA, and I know he doesn't really like that term, but this is kind of to you, Rich. If you happen to watch this, this is how I look at it. Gamer's just an easy term to identify each of us. You know, if you're into that, you know, what is your hobby? I'm a gamer. It's really easy to say. It comes out easy, and that's why we use it. You know, just like somebody says, I read a lot of books, I'm a bookworm. And I've heard people say that. They do refer to themselves as bookworms. You know, I mean, I'm a bookworm. I love reading books. That's how it is. They read books, and they read all kinds of genres. I don't know anybody who's a bookworm and goes, oh, I don't read that genre. I don't like that genre. I only read stories about sports, and I only read stories about Congress or something like that, you know. So I play every kind of genre that I can. I consider myself a true gamer. If you're not one of those people, then yeah. And you got to be somebody you also have to be playing games because they're fun. I take real issue with the guys who sit there and they're like, example, here's an example. E3, I loved E3. Loved E3. I love Mario. I love Mario games. They're great games. Am I a Nintendo fanboy? No, I don't want to hear it. I know everybody's going to go, Nintendo fanboy. No, I'm not. I'm very unbiased. I like video games for video games. You might notice that I kind of look like Robin Williams, but fat and bald. I noticed that. I don't know why. When it comes to video games, if you're a gamer, a true gamer, you're going to play all kinds of genres, but 9 times out of 10, you have these folks who just play sports games and realistic shooter stuff, and that's all they care about. But as an example, E3, just not long ago at E3, we had people who were like, they were going over their thoughts about E3 and each showing from, you know, Microsoft and Sony and Nintendo. They looked over that and they said what they thought about everything that was shown. When they got to Nintendo, they started going through the list. Most of the games they didn't care about, they made this face at the camera like, no. When they mentioned these games, several of these gamers did this too. They went over a list of the stuff that Nintendo showed, and their reaction was very cold. You could see the expression in their face. Um, they got to Yoshi's Woolly World, and they're like, he could sit there and say how he felt all he want, as politely as he wanted, but it's these guys, you could still tell that they were very cold to it. And I just think that's a shame. You can tell these are the guys that only play sports games and war shooters, but it's just like, if you're a gamer, you're a true gamer, you need to give games a shot. Yoshi's Woolly World, essentially, from what I gathered, is Yoshi's Island. It's Yoshi's Island without an annoying, whiny Baby Mario, which is something I got tired of in the last games. I couldn't stand the whining Baby Mario. Crying. Wee, 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 and you're like, will you shut up? Just stop. Stop it. There's, that's essentially what it is if you pay close attention to the gameplay. They have added some cool stuff having to do with yarn at the same time, but at the same time, it's just Yoshi's Island. But because of the aesthetic, a lot of these guys on YouTube, these personalities, they kind of cringed a little. You could see it on them, and I could tell what they were thinking. I am a man. I'm a manly man. I like manly video games. You're not gonna catch me playing a game this cute. Really? That's messed up. And that's not their words, but you can tell it's what's going on in their head. You can just look at them and tell. Rich had this reaction. A guy who played Mario. He loved Mario 3D World. But yet, 3 games, he just didn't care. And that's, of course, Yoshi's Woolly World. And Captain Toad's Treasure Tracker. And that new Kirby game for Wii U. He just seemed very cold about it. Him and several other game personalities. He was very lukewarm towards those things, and I couldn't help but sit back and go, you don't know, just, what are you, too much of a man? Is that it? And this is not just him, it's every other guy I saw on there. I'm not going to list the names, but you probably know who I'm talking about. You know which gamers I'm talking about on YouTube. But they all pretty much had this reaction to these games, and I'm like, they might be really fun. You're going to judge them based on their aesthetics? Because of how they look? You're going to look at these games and you're going to go, it's too cute for me. It's just not my kind of game. It's not my kind of game. It's too cute. That's what it is. It's too cute. It's too fluffy. It's too... Yeah, you got too much testosterone speaking for you. Stop letting your testosterone judge you. Stop with the testosterone. Just let it go. Try a game. Just, you might have fun. I'm like, don't be so macho. I mean, really, man? You're going to be like that. But, yeah, I love video games. There's a lot of things I'm going to talk about. I'm going to give my opinion on things. I want to be honest, this video is not even as comedic as the first two. I was being all over the place. I don't know how to act. This is going to be my first video. If you want to give me feedback and say, yeah, loosen up. Because even I'm thinking, giving feedback is like telling someone something they already know but reaffirming it. That's how I look at feedback. So if you look at me, and as long as you're not an ass about it, and you say, yeah, you need to loosen up. You're a little too tense. Just be yourself. Then I'll do that. But I don't want to do that if it's not what people want to see. This video has gone on way too long. I've talked about a lot of things. Mostly video games. I'm going to make some more videos. This is going to become a regular thing, I think. Depending on how this goes. I'm going to start giving... I want to do like Rich. I want to make a intro. I want to make... I'm very fond of Rich's stuff. I don't agree with everything he says, but I'm very fond of a lot of things with Rich. Especially Sexy Coco. Sexy Coco. Sexy Coco is fucking hilarious. Recently he called GameStops. Brilliant. Just funny as hell. But yeah, this is right here, 15 minutes. And I think that's enough. So thanks for watching. Let me know what you think. Don't be an ass. If you're going to be a rude ass, you're going to be a fanboy, you're going to be any of those things, I will pay attention, and I can block you. I don't want to be one of those asses. But if I don't think you're being very polite, you will be removed from my channel. I'm not going to be like everybody else and let it run amok. Be civilized. Have something positive to say. And even if it's not positive, be positive about what you're saying negatively. Just don't be a jerk. Alright, this is, I don't know, how am I going to go off on these things? I don't know. How am I going to end it? Rich is like, Rich will do this. He'll be like, this is this is Rich of Review Tech USA signing out. Have a good one. That's what he does, and I am also a fan of a few other guys on here, but Boogie, I don't even remember. I don't even think he ends on anything. He doesn't have this thing he says at the end of everything. Maybe that's how I should do it. I don't know. Just end it. Just stop there. Why not? Bye.